the Malaysian government has agreed in principle to make Social Security Organization (SOCSO) benefits available to self-employed workers. Human Resources Minister made the announcement when winding up the debates on the Supply Bill 2013 for the ministry last week. However, mechanisms for implementation are yet to be decided due to the need to first identify the different types of self-employment that exist. Subramaniam said, the implementation of SOCSO for the self-employed will take some time, as the ministry needs to first conduct actuarial implication studies. This SOCSO proposal was initially brought up by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak in July, after he said the government was mulling extending SOCSO to taxi drivers who are not covered by insurance if they are injured or maimed in the course of their work, The Sun reported. Subramaniam added, the recent minimum wage implementation has become the first action to address the middle income trap, and it will in a small way begin to narrow the income disparity. More than 40% of Malaysian workers will experience a wage increase. However, the solution to avoiding the middle income trap is economic transformation, he said. This has been done through previously announced initiatives, and are set target of a high-income economy, which is multidimensional. Subramaniam also said the government will bring about economic transformation by changing low-paying jobs to higher-paying jobs with a different set of skills, work methods and performance indicators. This will create a space for Malaysians to increase their income and narrow the income gap. Malaysians unhappy at work claim their boss is the reason behind their disengagement, but one HR leader said, the responsibility of maintaining a good relationship doesn't just lie with the manager. A recent survey by JobStreet.com found 21% of unhappy employees in Malaysia claim to be that way because of a poor relationship with their immediate supervisor or boss. But Khalis Abdul Rahim, Chief Human Capital Officer of Telecom Malaysia said, while the organization is expected to provide the best place to work to keep employees engaged and motivated, employees must also realize that they hold a huge role in determining their own morale and happiness at work. Both parties, the superior and subordinate, must give their commitment and set a specific time to do this on a regular basis. HR provides relevant platforms for employee engagements to help create a positive and conducive climate for all. These engagement activities promote top-down, as well as bottom-up communication. Reach out to the other party and be candid as well as open to feedback, he said. At TM, Khalis said staff are given opportunities for regular dialogue sessions with the CEO and senior management, as well as quarterly town halls and activities, such as sports carnivals to aid in engagement and get people talking to each other. It is also important to arrange regular team-building activities and find ways to reward staff, Khalis said, adding TM organizes an annual awards night for this purpose. Malaysian companies have realized the importance of identifying and grooming the next generation of leaders, but the methods of producing great leaders are still unclear to many HR practitioners. I don't believe any one of us have the real answers on how to groom the next generation of leaders, Mani Vanantakina Murthy, HR Director of Philips said. While tracking and spotting potential leaders is something Malaysian companies have become more adept to, Murthy said there's no one way to build identified talent into great leaders. Because of this uncertainty, many HR practitioners tend to simply hypothesize about the leadership style of the future, and end up challenged on how to find their masterpiece. Upon identification of a leader, it is the task of the HR practitioners and organization to carefully cut the diamond, so to speak, until we have the masterpiece, Murthy said. Traits such as risk-taking, taking ownership, and challenging the status quo are noticeable evidence of a potential leader, and assessment centers have frequently provided the opportunity for organizations to identify possible stars. In order to produce great leaders, HR practitioners are realizing generational differences and investing more in understanding their traits, in order to develop talent identification strategies that are futuristic and compelling. When it comes to succession planning, Murthy said, Malaysian companies may be better at identifying candidates for critical positions, but they are losing talent when the promised position does not come soon enough for the employee. This results in the candidate feeling frustrated, leading them to look for other opportunities elsewhere, which means companies are investing in talent, who end up benefiting their competitors. A survey has revealed Malaysians are among the most hardworking employees in the world, with almost 90% claiming to work while on holiday. According to Expedia's 2012 Vacation Deprivation survey of 8,000 workers across 22 countries, the Malaysian workforce comes in fourth behind India, Brazil and Italy, respectively. This survey also revealed that while Malaysians spend around 40 hours a week physically at work, they are only entitled to 14 days of annual leave, among the lowest in the world. Malaysians, on average, do not use around 7% of their annual leave because they have an option to carry forward their leave to the next year, and they are unable to coordinate travel plans with their peers, Asia One reported. About 40% of workers are afraid to go on vacation because of fears of upsetting their boss, while another 15% believe it will reflect negatively on their careers. It is worrying that so many Malaysians feel guilty about going on holiday. Studies have shown that employees who take regular breaks to revitalize their minds and bodies are often more productive and effective in the workplace, said AirAsia Expedia CEO, Dan Lin. This survey also found workers in developed nations do not take vacations due to the financial constraints. Only 9% of Malaysian workforce said they sacrifice a holiday due to limited funds. Asia proved to be the world's most vacation-deprived region, with employees overall taking the least number of holidays and working the most hours each week. An experiment has discovered that even primates get upset and throw tantrums when they are not given equal compensation. The study, by Emory University in the U.S., found monkeys are aware when they are not being treated equally for the same amount of work achieved. The experiment, which was shown via video at a recent TED Talk, involved getting two capuchin monkeys in adjacent clear enclosures to pass a rock to the researcher. They were then rewarded with either a cucumber or a grape. In presentation by primatologist Franz de Waal, the monkey who was rewarded the less appealing cucumber was seen throwing a tantrum when it realized its peer was awarded a grape. The outraged monkey threw the piece of cucumber back at the researcher, rattling its cage and slamming its fist on the ground in disapproval.